To keep the body in good health is a duty, otherwise we shall not be able to keep our minds strong and clear. Hello again, boys and girls, welcome back. So today we're going to have another think about Skipper's toolkit. So far we have looked at keep connected and the importance of keeping connected with everybody during the lockdown and how you might stay in touch with everybody. And then we had a look at take a moment and how you can do things that you really enjoy to help you relax and de-stress, and how good these things are for your mental health and how you feel. So today we're going to have a think about Get Active. Now, Get Active was actually just launched just before Easter, right before the school closed. If you were at school then, you will remember that we went down to the gym hall, the Glee Club performed their 2 dances for us, and then we launched the Get Active. So we were thinking about the importance of being active and how good that is for us. So we're going to have a look at the first couple of Skipper's slides before we get started. Being active is not only good for the body, but also for the mind. Skipper is having a bad day. He's not feeling his usual self and doesn't know why. He just sits on his boat and doesn't feel like doing anything at all. One of his friends suggests that they should go for a cycle ride. Skipper doesn't feel like it. He would rather stay on his boat and do nothing at all. Being active is good for the mind and the body. It helps you to learn better at school, sleep better at night, improves your mood, gives you energy, and keeps your heart healthy. So you can see there, Skipper's friends invited him to go for a ride on the bikes, and he decided that he didn't want to. He's feeling really down and really fed up and doesn't want to do anything, and it says about the fact that he's not feeling like doing anything. But what we spoke about when we did the assembly is that sometimes when you feel a bit like that and you don't feel like doing anything, once you've done some activity or exercise, it actually brings you out of it and makes you feel much better. The important thing to remember is that all of Skipper's toolkit are designed to make you feel really good inside and out. So we all know that exercise is really good for your body. It's really good for your heart and your lungs, and it keeps you really fit, which is really good health-wise. But also, it's really good for our mental health, for how we feel in our minds. And we've spoken about take a moment and how important that is for us too. So getting active when you're feeling a bit bleh, once you go out and do it, it can actually really lift your mood and make you feel better. So the argument with it was that Skipper should maybe try going out on his bike. So then it spoke about taking a risk. So let's have a look at those slides now. It is important to find hobbies that you enjoy doing in your spare time. They can be fun and help you to relax and feel better as you go along your journey on the river of life. When we have fun, we can't help but smile. Skipper enjoys having fun playing with his friends and laughing at their jokes. When he smiles, his whole body relaxes and he feels good. Doing anything new involves taking a risk. Taking a risk can be a good thing. Even though Skipper doesn't think he will enjoy cycling, he agrees to go. He ends up having a great time and begins to realise that he loves cycling. Don't wait until you feel like getting active. Skipper has learned that sometimes we have to get active to feel better, rather than waiting till we feel better to get active. So the risk it was talking about with Skipper was not a big, dangerous risk, but sometimes somebody might suggest, do you like swimming? Would you like to come swimming with us? Would you like to come on your bike? Would you like to go for a run? And it may be something that you think, oh, I've never done that before, or no, I don't fancy that. But actually, if you take a risk and push yourself a little bit to try something new or try something you haven't done for a while, you may discover that you like it. Now, Skipper actually did that with the going on the bike. He decided to take the risk and go on the bike, even though he didn't feel like it, and then discovered that he loved it and that it made him feel so much better. So you could have a think about how you could push yourself when you're feeling a bit, oh, and don't want to do anything, what could you do? What ways could you get active that you would really enjoy? Now, I know that there have been lots of people doing things like Joe Wicks the Body Coach, or doing cosmic yoga, or doing Go Noodle dances, or just dance things on YouTube, and lots of other things. We're going to hear now from some of your teachers and staff at Denham to find out what they're doing to keep themselves active.
Hello boys and girls. We've been asked to share with you the ways in which we are keeping active during lockdown. I have been trying my hand at yoga, but as you can see, I've still got quite a lot to learn. For those of you who've been in my class before, I would suggest going on to YouTube and having a look at some cosmic yoga. You'll find there lots of stories and lots of yoga exercises to accompany them. Something else which I've been doing in lockdown is obviously taking my dog Barney out for a walk. I'm also fortunate enough that I live in a house which has a nice garden, so I've been outdoors doing a little bit of gardening, and that's also helped to keep me active and get my heart rate up. I would also suggest, for those of you who haven't tried and live in a house with stairs, it's a great way of going up and down the stairs a few times a day. That really gets your heart rate going as well. I hope that you are managing to find lots of ways to keep active, and I look forward to seeing the ideas shared either on our Teams page, or you can share it on our school Facebook. Bye for now.
Hello everyone, you've found me out in a walk in the woods today, keeping active, and I just wanted to talk to you today about the types of things that I do to keep active, because it's so important at the moment. I like to go out walking, and I also like to do things like working in the garden as well. And I find that I try and get out walking at least once a day, and when I get out to places like this where it's peaceful and it's quiet and there's not really many other people around, it makes me feel really calm and really good, and it means that I can take a little bit of time to relax and just to think, so it's very enjoyable. I hope that you're all managing to keep active as well. Bye.
Here's how the Macready House is staying active. Right at the start of lockdown, Ruby made us this enormous chart with lots of weeks and lots of ideas for activities. We've tried really hard to follow them, but sometimes we've made up our own. I'm going to take you outside and show you some. Come with me. Here's our tunnel, which is part of our obstacle course. We've got hoops and bats and balls, but we've added something else. Here's a clue, and here's another clue. We bought a netball net, and every day we've come out and tried to practice. I'm getting really good at this. Watch. Okay, maybe not that good. I'll try again. No. Okay, Mrs. Nuttall, Mrs. Patterson, I'm not going to be on your team.
Hi everybody. I hope you're all well and happy. I've been sitting in front of the computer all morning, so when I'm doing that I can get quite tired and I get cold because I'm not moving enough. So I often at lunchtime have a break and I get out walking, or I go on my bike. So today I took my very old bike, which is nearly as old as me, and I went on a ride around the village. The sun's out, it's a wee bit windy, so sometimes when it's windy you have to work a bit harder, but then after that I feel all warm and all refreshed, and I can start working again, or I often go in the garden. I have a wee garden, and I have vegetables and flowers. So I do a bit of work there. That keeps me active. But what I try, and what's my favorite thing every day, and what I try to do every day, is I'm going on a walk for at least an hour. So I walk down in the valley, or I go up the hills, which takes a bit longer. So that's my favorite activities. Sometimes if I'm disciplined enough, I do a bit of yoga, and or I try the activities that Mrs. Angus is giving us at the moment. So so it keeps my mind and my body active and healthy and happy at the same time. So keep happy, keep healthy, and keep active. Bye.
Hi boys and girls, today we're going to talk about what I do to stay active during lockdown. So one of the things that I like to do is I like to do yoga. So here's my yoga mat, and we like to do lots of different stretches. Really? So here's the yoga stretching in the garden. So that's one way of staying active. Another way is by doing exercises like a press up. So lots of different exercises. Try to do a press up. And that's to help us stay active. We also like to go for a jog or a run. Can we go for a jog? I like to play different games with my children outdoors to stay active, like Tig. And hide and seek. Or we also like to play rugby. You pass to Mum? Julian? I also like to go for a walk, a nice long walk to stay active, or Mr. Murphy and I share a bike. So,
always put a helmet on.
Thanks Blair. We like to share a bike. Put your helmet on please now, Leon.
I don't know if to put on.
I'll help you. We like to go a bike ride, so here's my bike.
Treasure!
So, I hope that you are all managing to stay happy and stay active, because staying active releases feel-good chemicals called endorphins, and that always helps us to feel happy, and it's good to keep your body and your mind happy and healthy. So stay active!
Bye!
Bye for now!
Bye! From the Murphys!
So how do I keep active? Well, I'm somebody who really loves to go for a walk. I love to be out in the countryside, seeing all the scenery, and at the moment hearing the lambs and things like that. It's just lovely. I've also been doing a lot of work in our garden, which I know Mrs. Angus talked about too. I've been planting lots of things, and I have to say my husband does most of the heavy work because of my sore back, which lots of you know about. But I have just downloaded the Couch to 5K app. Now, my class will confirm I am not a runner, but it's something that Mrs. Murphy has actually really inspired me by. Mrs. Murphy runs a lot, and I always think when she talks about going running, I wish I did that. So I'm going to give it a go. Now, I don't promise to be fantastic by the end of it, but I think it's good to set yourself a challenge, and I need to get my mindset right. We've spoken about this too. There's no point in going into it saying I can't do that, because then of course I can't. So I'm going to go into it thinking I will do my best. If I can't do it in 8 weeks, it's supposed to be 3 runs where you start off running and walking, and then over the 8 weeks you get up to the stage where you can run 5K without stopping. It might take me longer than 8 weeks. It might take me double that. I don't know yet. I might surprise myself. So at the moment I am saying I can't run 5k yet, but we never know. I will try my best and we will see how I get on, and I'll keep you updated on it, boys and girls, because if I'm telling you I'm going to do it, then I can't give up and quit.
Hello everyone, this week we're thinking about ways in which we can keep active, and I'm going to share with you one or two ways that I keep active every day. Every day I go out walking with my dogs, and we can walk between 5 and 7 miles each day because they need lots of exercise, and it's good for me too. Isn't that right, Ziggy? Yes, it is right, Mum, yes. And then also we've got horses, so sometimes we are out riding horses too, and that's a great form of exercise. I spend a lot of time outdoors being busy and keeping fit, but when the weather's maybe not so nice, I have an exercise bike indoors which I like to exercise on and cycle on. I also like to think of the housework as doing exercise, and that's sometimes the only way that I can convince myself to do it, so there's a little secret for you. I hope you are keeping active and are finding lots of different ways and lots of fun ways of keeping active. And take care, keep safe. Bye.
So you've heard from the teachers and staff and how we all like to get active or hope to be in the future. Now I would like you to have a think about yourself. What ways are you keeping active during lockdown? For some of you, it will come quite naturally. You're always busy running about outside, keeping active. Others of you might find it quite challenging. So perhaps you'll be somebody who wants to do something outdoors. You might be somebody who wants to do something indoors. But we would love you to try to take that risk, push yourself, and try something new. We gave you the 30-day challenge as part of your homework for Get Active, so it may be that you've been trying that already. Mrs. Angus has set lots of PE tasks for you to do every week, which would be great if you were taking part in those too. They're good ways to keep active. She also gave you the table where you could chart what you were doing every week and trying to see how you could get your hour a day of exercise. So that would be something else you could try. Next week is walk to school week. Now obviously we're not at school at the minute, so we can't walk to school, but we would encourage you, where it's safe and where possible, to get yourself out walking, and there's a wee walk to school challenge which we will be setting you next week. I'm going to end now by showing you Mrs. Angus's video, and we hope that this will really inspire you all to get active, to keep moving, and to make yourself feel good. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Get active. Just play. Have fun. Enjoy the game.